Hi guys, it's Fentony. I've not been able to review episode 5 yet as I've been incredibly busy, but now I've gotten some free time, it's time to do episode 5. If you've not seen the episode yet, which is very unlikely, just be careful for spoilers. So let's talk about episode 5. This episode is full of huge moments, and it was setting up the final 2 episodes of season 7 and beyond. The pace of season 7 and the characters teleporting has been talked about a lot, and this episode is very guilty of it. For instance, Tyrion and Davos went from Dragonstone to King's Landing and then back within an episode. I feel this season could have been better with 10 episodes, but we still have 2 episodes left, so we're going to wait until they air before we review the season as a whole. So what all happened in this episode? The Old Bear's son and the White Wolf. Jorah is back on Team Targaryen, and I loved how him and Jon Snow were kinda jealous of each other. Jorah's stuck in the friend zone. I kinda feel bad for him, but this is where he wants to be. He wants to serve Daenerys. Jon is definitely not in the friend zone, and there's no doubt that Jon and Dany will hook up. I'm glad Jorah is back on the team, and it seems like all is forgiven. I'm kinda happy that it took 5 episodes to get him here, and not in the first 2 or 3. This season is very fast, but at least for a bit, they had some build up with Jorah. Jorah is on Jon's team heading beyond the wall now, so I expect we're going to see Jon and Jorah talk about Jeor Mormont, that's Jorah's father, Ned Stark wanting to behead Jorah for selling poachers as slaves, and of course, Longclaw, which is the ancestral Valyrian steel sword of House Mormont. Will Jon offer him it? We'll just have to wait and see. The Queen in the North. It didn't take long for the 2 Stark girls to stop being nicey-nicey, didn't it? Arya questions Sansa's motives and thinks she wants to become queen if anything happens to Jon. Lord Glover even suggests hinting that Sansa could have been chosen, and the Vale came up to help Sansa, not Jon. It seems Littlefinger has got into their heads, and he even met with Lord Royce and Lord Glover in secret. Littlefinger's actually done something this episode. He even met with Maester Walken, who gave him the letter Sansa wrote to Robb, telling him Ned's a traitor and Robb needs to bend the knee to Joffrey. Arya does follow him and finds the letter, and it seems like Littlefinger wanted her to find it. But why was Arya seen so easily? Did she want to be seen? I feel the show is kind of forcing Arya and Sansa's tension on us, and I've always believed they're actually working together, and by the end of the season, it's been all revealed that they were actually just planning against Littlefinger. Yes, it's all a game, and Arya and Sansa were working together here. The Lannister bros. It's been a long time coming as they said their goodbyes at the end of season 4, but Tyrion and Jaime met in this episode. Tyrion wants Jaime to arrange a meeting with Cersei so they can put the war on hold and fight against the White Walkers. Jaime is angry with Tyrion, but he knows Tyrion never killed Joffrey and only killed Tywin because he was going to execute Tyrion even though he knew that he was innocent. It was a powerful scene, especially when Tyrion talked about being born a dwarf and that he never chose to be born that way. I really wanted these 2 lions on the same side again, and it seems like we're getting there, but I feel this huge moment was kinda wasted, and it should have been the big scene of its own episode, but it was forced into an episode full of other stuff, and we kinda forgot about it. Pride of Lions is growing. Cersei's pregnant, or she claims to be. Jaime seems pretty happy to becoming a dad/uncle again, but is Cersei lying to keep Jaime under control, or is she genuinely pregnant? There is no way this baby's gonna make it out if that's really true. Maggie the Frog did tell Cersei all her children would die. Gold shall be their crowns, and gold their shrouds. Jaime loves Cersei, but he really needs to leave her. It's hard to leave someone you love and you've been with them all your life. Jaime knows nothing but Cersei, but I'm sure he will see sense soon, but it might take Cersei doing another terrible thing for this to happen. Gendry, the bastard son of Robert Baratheon, is back. Gendry's back and it's been a long time. The last time we saw Gendry was the end of season 3 when he was Rowan. Davos found him in Flea Bottom, and Gendry's actually making swords for the Lannisters who killed Robert and tried to kill him, so he's pretty happy to leave. Gendry does have a badass warhammer with a stag on it that resembles his father's, but I didn't like how the show told us Gendry can handle himself. He killed 2 gold cloaks by hitting them in the head from behind. That's nothing compared to the icy hell that awaits Gendry when he goes beyond the wall. And Gendry meeting Jon Snow, that was a great scene. I love how he ignored Davos and told Jon who he really is. The 2 bastards talk about knowing each other's fathers, but how ironic is it that Robert actually killed Jon's real father, Rhaegar Targaryen? Daenerys shows her fiery side. Daenerys told the survivors to bend the knee or die. Randall Tarly refused, and his son Dickon follows, so she actually had Drogon burn them alive. I really like Dickon, and he got some great development last episode, and in this one. Daenerys needs to be very careful, as she's being seen as the Mad King 2.0, or the Mad Queen by some. Daenerys is certainly not her father, but she has 3 weapons of mass destruction and an army of foreign invaders. If she continues burning everyone that doesn't bend the knee, they will see her just like they saw her father. Varys and Tyrion have been trying to keep Dany under control all season, and Varys wants Tyrion to try to make her listen, but that's easier said than done. Bran Stark and the Night King. So Bran wargs into a lot of ravens and he flies over Eastwatch and he sees the army of the dead are not far away, and then the Night King looks up and the ravens scatter and Bran returns to his body. There's definitely a connection between Bran and the Night King. Are they both Greenseers? Is the Night King an ancient Stark? Or is the Night King Bran? There's lots of theories here, and this scene will have made even more. As for Bran, he's been a bit underused this season. He did send a raven down to Jon Snow, so Jon Snow knows that Arya and Bran are both alive, and Jon seems to be happy. Jon's a man on a mission, and he had to go straight to Eastwatch. There was no time to go Winterfell, and we're probably going to have to wait till season 8 for them to meet Jon again. And speaking of Jon Snow, Rhaegar and Lyanna are officially married. It has been confirmed that Rhaegar annulled his marriage to Elia Martell and he remarried in secret in Dorne. Gilly found this written in a journal that belonged to the High Septon that actually conducted the wedding. But Sam's actually angry with the Maesters for refusing to help against the White Walkers, so he kinda blanked her. Gilly did pronounce Rhaegar as Prince Rhaegar, but I'm sure Sam will work it out in the end. Sam has left the Citadel now, and he should be in Winterfell in no time, and together with Bran, he will finish the picture, and Jon Snow will be revealed as a true-born Targaryen. Gilly's not one of my favourite characters. I do find her annoying, but for once, I wanted her to continue talking. Sam wasn't listening, and I bet you were shouting at your TV, "Shut up, Sam, listen to Gilly, she's telling you about Rhaegar." I'm glad that Sam has left the Citadel though, as the Maesters were very frustrating. They're so blind to what really matters, and they think they know everything. Jon Snow, the friend to dragons. It happened, and I was on the edge of my seat. Jon Snow met Drogon, and he was allowed to touch the dragon. Drogon knows that Jon Snow is friendly, and that he has Targaryen blood, but neither Jon nor Daenerys know this. It was great to see Dany's reaction. She's peeking round Drogon's head, and she sees Jon Snow patting her dragon. But I wish it was Rhaegal and not Drogon. If we think that Jon Snow and Rhaegal are going to bond, they should have had a scene as well. Jon shouldn't be able to ride Drogon as he's bonded with Daenerys, but we think that Jon Snow is going to ride Rhaegal, who's actually named for Jon's father. It was a beautiful scene though, especially when Jon looked into Drogon's eye. The 7 heroes. Jon, Tormund, Jorah, Gendry the Hound, Beric Dondarrion and Forrest of Myr have gone beyond the wall, and they're going to capture a white to bring it down south to show Cersei in the hope that she helps them against the White Walkers. I'm not a fan of this plan, it sounds a bit silly, and you can't trust Cersei anyway. This is a suicide mission, and not everyone's going to make it out. But the badass group ain't all friends. But as Jon said, we're all on the same side, we're all breathing. There's a lot of great characters here, and I especially love Tormund in this scene. It's a shame he's not had much screen time. I think he was in episode 1 and then episode 5 and that's it. I really enjoyed this episode. It had the big moments, and it was setting stuff up, which is always good, because if you set stuff up, it makes the further episodes down the line even better. The pace was far too fast though. I feel season 7 relies heavily on these moments, but the lack of build-up hurt them a bit. If this episode had more build-up and was split up maybe into 2 episodes, it could have worked better. Too much happened in a short time. Gendry coming back could have been the main point of its own episode, and you could have had Jon go away and then come back in the next episode, but it seems everything's getting crammed in one episode, and seeing characters teleport all over the place does get a bit annoying. We know not every scene is happening within minutes, and there can be days, even weeks between scenes. Right now, I would say this is probably my second favourite episode after the Spoils of War this season, but that's nothing to complain at. So what do you think about episode 5? I know a lot of you guys love the big action scenes, and I love them too, so this is probably not your favourite, you probably loved episode 4 more, but I would say this is a strong 2, probably just behind Spoils of War, and just above the Queen's Justice. So leave all your thoughts about the episode in the comments below. If you're finding the channel for the first time, please hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.